If you picture the most recognizable physical flaw in American history, your mind likely jumps straight to the Liberty Bell. Its massive, gaping crack is its defining feature. Most people assume this tremendous gash was a spontaneous accident, the result of a single natural break that occurred while the bell was ringing. But that enormous gap was an intentional mechanical intervention. In 1846, workers used a drill and a saw to purposefully widen an existing hairline fracture. When a fractured bell is struck, the rough edges of the crack rub against each other, creating a buzzing, distorted vibration. By widening the gap, workers ensured the sides could no longer touch, a desperate attempt to salvage the bell's ring. To understand why authorities resorted to this surgery in 1846, we have to look back at a 94-year timeline of cascading metallurgical failures. The famous crack isn't a symbol of simple aging. It is a physical, permanent record of continuous human efforts to save a failing object. The story begins in 1751. The Pennsylvania Assembly commissioned a grand bell for the tower of the State House to commemorate the 50th anniversary of William Penn's Charter of Privileges. The bell was cast in 1752 by the Whitechapel Bell Foundry in London. It weighed over 2,000 pounds and cost the Assembly roughly 100 pounds. At the Assembly's request, a specific verse from Leviticus was cast into the bronze. The inscription read, "Proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto all the inhabitants thereof." When the bell arrived in Philadelphia in August 1752, it was hung up for a sound test. Upon the very first strike, the metal shattered. Assembly Speaker Isaac Norris recorded his mortification, noting that the metal was so brittle, it broke without any significant force. This immediate failure established a critical precedent. From its first day in the city, the bell was structurally doomed. Embarrassed by the ruined import, local officials chose to hire two Philadelphia foundry workers, John Pass and John Stowe, rather than wait months to ship the bell back to England. Pass and Stowe attempted a radical repair. They smashed the original London bell into pieces and melted the bronze down completely to start over. This chart shows their metallurgical intervention. To fix the original alloy's brittleness, they added extra copper. But engineering involves trade-offs. The extra copper made the metal less brittle, but killed the bell's resonance. When tested, it sounded terrible. Pass and Stowe had to melt the bell down a second time, recalibrating the metal mixture once more to try and find a balance between durability and tone. This third iteration was finally hung in the State House steeple in June 1753. An object subjected to repeated smashing, melting, and chemical alteration is inherently stressed. This history left the bell vulnerable to future failure. For several decades, the bell rang successfully. However, the internal stress within the Pass and Stowe metal was compounding with every strike. In the early 19th century, a narrow hairline split began to develop. Once again, the bell's sound was beginning to degrade. By 1846, the city faced a high-stakes deadline. They needed a clean-sounding bell to celebrate George Washington's birthday. This is why workers performed that mechanical widening we discussed earlier. They sawed out the edges of the hairline split to stop them from vibrating against each other for the holiday celebration. But during the birthday ringing, the repair failed. The physical stress caused a brand new fracture to shoot upward into the crown of the bell. This final extension was unrepairable. The Liberty Bell was silenced forever. Today, the bell is a musical instrument that can no longer play a note. Its value is found in its scars, a physical record of nearly a century of structural failures and human attempts to fix them.